Hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. We are excited to present our recommendations to enhance stakeholder engagement at Celltel. I am Vathasha Jinasundara, and also our team includes Matheesha Kalamulla, Radhinsa Perera, Ihara Dissanayake, and Manumi Ekanayake. Let's get started. We'll begin with an overview of our presentation. Our main focus will be on two key recommendations: implementing a stakeholder engagement framework and forming a stakeholder advisory board. Each recommendation will be explained in detail, including steps to implement, responsible parties, timeliness, costs, and potential challenges. Our first recommendation is implementation of a stakeholder engagement framework. This framework will help address potential and managerial ethical challenges at our Indonesian cell center by effectively identifying and prioritizing stakeholders. Description of the recommendation. This framework will enable continuous communication and feedback collection, ensuring that stakeholder interests are aligned with our organizational goals. Steps to be carried out. Here are the steps involved in this recommendation. Firstly, systematic stakeholder mapping, which identify all relevant stakeholders. Secondly, prioritization criteria, which defines criteria to prioritize stakeholders. Next, tailored engagement strategies, which develop strategies for each group. Finally, feedback mechanism, which establishes systems for continuous communication. Responsible parties. The responsibilities are as follows: senior management for stakeholder mapping, department heads for prioritization criteria, marketing and communications team for engagement strategies, and finally, IT departments for implementing feedback mechanisms.
Timeline and location. We anticipate a timeline of 8 months for completion. For stakeholder mapping at headquarters, it takes 1 to 2 months. For prioritization, it takes 3 months. For engagement strategies, it takes 4 to 5 months. And for feedback mechanism, it takes 6 to 8 months. Costs. The estimated cost for this initiative include personnel costs $65,000. This is salaries for full-time employees or consultants $60,000 per annum, and extra overtime or bonus for existing staff involved in the project for $5,000 per year. Technology cost $45,000, training cost $12,000, research cost $11,000, communication cost $6,000, and travel and accommodation $10,000. Potential problems. However, we must consider potential problems. Conflicting stakeholder interest. This could alienate certain groups, resource certain constraints, budgets and time limitations may hinder progress. Recommendation Title 2. Our second recommendation is to form a stakeholder advisory board. The board will ensure diverse representation and facilitate collaborative decision making.
To break down this recommendation further, it can be said that regular meetings will provide a platform for stakeholders to voice their opinions, fostering mutual understanding and trust. Conflict resolution mechanisms will also be established to manage disagreements. Now, let's see what steps we can implement to put this recommendation into action. The steps for this recommendation includes representative selection, collaborative decision-making, conflict resolution mechanism, enhanced accountability, and transparency. Celltel can allocate several parties for these steps. The responsible parties are Board of Directors for representation, advisory board members for decision-making, communication team for transparency, and mediators can be allocated for conflict resolution. When we consider the timeline and location, the timeline for forming the advisory board is as follows. It can take around 2 months to 3 months for planning, and ongoing quarterly meetings can be held starting from month 4. When we consider the cost, the estimated cost for this initiative includes compensation cost as $20,000, meeting cost $6,000, and we can assume that it will cost $5,000 for administration and $10,000 for legal, $5,000 for facilitation cost, $8,000 for reporting costs.
Thank you. So I'll be talking about the potential problems. Here, we have divided it into two parts, the problems and the impact. So if I talk about the problems, increasing stakeholder engagement can disrupt traditional decision makers, leading to change resistance. Additionally, too much engagement may result in stakeholder fatigue, causing burnout and reducing long-term involvement. Furthermore, if stakeholder expectations are not properly aligned with the institution's capabilities, they may demand more than what is feasible. This misalignment can lead to disappointment if stakeholders feel their views are not being adequately addressed. So, if I talk about the impacts, a decrease in the quality of stakeholders' contributions and engagement activities over time can lead to significant challenges. As the quality of input from stakeholders declines, their participation in engagement activities also reduces. This trend causes frustration and disengagement among stakeholders, damaging the rapport and trust between the organization and its stakeholders. In conclusion, stakeholder theory advocates for treating all stakeholders with fairness, honesty, and even generosity. According to stakeholder theory, organization aims to generate multiple benefits for different stakeholders. Therefore, a clear imperative was drawn between maximizing dividends for shareholders and satisfying the needs of stakeholders. Implementing these recommendations based on stakeholder theory will significantly enhance stakeholder engagement at Celltel, leading to improved reputation and financial stability of organization. Thank you.